the United States has launched attacks against Iran. Things that have been talked about for probably about a decade or more, that we knew this was almost inevitable, especially in the last couple months, as President Trump had been ordering our ships over there, sending a whole armada, just surrounding Iran, giving threats, saying that we wanted to discuss, negotiate. I think it got to a point where we gave up on negotiating. It was an ultimatum. Either you say you are not going to have a nuclear weapon, you're going to put that down, you're not going to enrich uranium, you're going to come to the table on our terms. And the Iranian regime decided to not back down. They decided to stand firm, do what they always do. And we know what would happen if they had nuclear arms. What we are doing to them, they would do to us if they had the chance. They would want to destroy us. They want to drop bombs on Israel as well as the United States if they have the chance. And President Trump, the wartime president, has stepped in and done the unthinkable. And he is putting matters into his own hands. And so the burden is on him. Where we go from here, it is yet to be seen. So I would not dig your heels in too much. Wherever you're at, whatever side you're on, I would not dig in too much, because this is going to be a day-by-day situation that plays out. In this episode, we're also going to talk about freedom of speech. I'm going to dive into this. People that are banned, American citizens that are banned from platforms on the internet, is disgraceful, and we're going to dive into that and look into that. And we're also going to wrap it up with talking about Candace Owens and some of the things that she's recently said in her latest saga of analyzing Erica Kirk, her family, her company, the foundation that Charlie built. We're going to finish it up with that. But our featured story today is going to be the war with Iran that has just kicked off. And breaking news, what has just been brought to everyone's attention is the supreme leader, Al Khamenei, is officially dead. He is officially dead. You can see that on the screen. Fox News is reporting it. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, confirmed dead after Israeli strike. Iran's supreme leader is dead. And here we're going to take a look at this. Patrick David, he just released a video, and we're just going to look at a couple of different things. Hear what he has to say.
The supreme leader of Iran, Ali Khamenei, is officially dead. They killed him. They found his body. Reports came in. Let me tell you why this is big. This is not killing a president. This is not killing a prime minister. This is not killing a king. You're killing the supreme leader of a religion. This is number 2 to God. They killed. And by the way, the last time the supreme leader was alive, I was in Iran. It was June 3rd, 89, when he died. Khomeini, I was in fifth grade at a school called Gulbenkian, and it was chaotic in Iran.
You can see that we are going into probably chaotic times. But if there's anything different between President Trump as opposed to the presidents that were before him, President Bush sending us into Iraq, what that drug out, and why the American citizens had fatigue, was because we wanted out of there. There was no victory. There was no sight of victory. What is victory in this? What we've seen, I don't know. I wouldn't say going into Iran was the best decision ever. I'm not the president. I don't know. I don't know all the details and the intel he has. But I trust President Trump. I think he has proven to have a good track record on the decisions he's made on the foreign stage. He has been proven right. And us bombing Iran last year in June, that was in and out, one and done. And people that were so pissed off about it right up front, they understood quickly that was a good move. It turned out to be a good move. I'm not going to be a person that I know this. There are things that are higher up happening, and Israel having a little bit of pressure on us. The reason we're there is obviously because of Israel. If it wasn't our ally in the Middle East, Israel, and I do stand with Israel. I stand with Israel. They don't do everything perfect, but I think that President Trump supporting them and understanding, because if Iran has a nuclear weapon, the first one they're going to unleash a bomb on is Israel, obviously. But then they're going to do everything in their power to unleash everything upon the United States and all of the rest of our allies. So getting ahead of this, being proactive, is I believe will turn out to be a good decision, because I know President Trump, before he came into office, he voiced the things of the regular American. What we like, us being over in Iraq, spending our blood and treasure over there and getting nothing for it, literally nothing for it, and just destabilizing everything and coming away with nothing. This is different. This is different. Trump is not a man that is going to allow his name, his legacy to be tarnished. And him putting his neck out on the line, doing this is, he's not going to let it not turn out for the good of America. I could not see that happening. But if you step into the Twitter sphere right now, everyone on there, it's not really going to be trustworthy opinions that you're getting, because all I see is the major movement right now. The people that have microphones are the ones that they hate Israel, and they want nothing to do with Israel. And if it bleeds Israel, if it shows Israel, they hate it. They're obviously immediately turned off. That is the opinion that people are pushing forward. I see so many people out there are just buying into it, and they don't even know why. So they're not even given a chance. I trust President Trump and what he's decided to do, what he's done. We have to stand with him. And I think of like people like Dave Smith, who are just cheerleading for people that are not in American interests, that are just making us look like we're the stupids, we're the villains. And it's like, whose side are you on? Who are you representing? And even bringing up Dave Smith, I always just question, you say you're a Jew, but then you're so against everything that represents Judaism and represents Jewish thought and represents your own people. What is that all about? If you can't even stand for the people that you share bloodline with, and you turn your back on them, how can we even trust you to not turn your back on the American states, us? And it shows through, it comes through with everything you're saying, because you're just making it so light and just making it seem like we're the evil ones with the things that we're doing. Like that we're being puppeted by Israel, that we're being controlled by them. I don't think that everything that Israel does is right. It's not perfect. It's not golden. But we can see that God's hand is definitely on Israel and is blessing them. They're almost just a bellwether of what's happening in God's unfolding plans in this world. We see that God has judged Israel and has hurt Israel and has cursed Israel and spread them out throughout the world. But we see what he's doing in the last 100 years. He's bringing them home to their land. So we can just read the room what God is doing. Not that like everything that specific people are doing is right and perfect, but we can see that God's plans above them and orchestrating this, blessing them, what they're doing. I would want to be on that side. I would want to stand with them, and I think that as the United States, we're only going to be blessed as long as we are blessing them. And that's not cliche. That's and it's not just claiming a divine promise that's not really there. It is there because we see that as we bless them, our nation gets blessed. And and the nations that hate them are the ones that are being toppled and destroyed. I want to be a part and stand with them. That's where I'm at. But I know that this could always turn. This is going to be like, this is instant reaction. It looks good right now. We just took out their leader, but it could turn really quick. It's going to be a day by day thing. So but where we're at, what Donald Trump, there is no going back. We have passed this Rubicon. We're stepping into new territory. It's not just one bomb that was dropped, but it is full-fledged war that we've stepped into. And it's like Americans need to come together. We need to come together. Otherwise, we're going to be divided and conquered. So, with this whole Iran situation, which we knew that was building up, and it's finally here, there's no going back. What's done is done. And with Israel, what they have, their interest over there, it has to be our interests. It has to be. We can't. This whole idea of, because everybody, if you say anything about them, there is this onslaught of people that are truly the puppets in the media. This internet sphere that we have. The popular opinion is to, whatever they do, Netanyahu is the next Hitler, that they are the evil ones for some reason. And this is the lie. If you're opposing Israel, if you're opposing Jewish people, you are working for the devil. You are. You might not know it, but you are. You're working for the devil. And God, I mean, God uses the devil. He allows the devil to do his things. He allows the devil to harm his people at times, but he ultimately judges the people that hurt his people. So I that's where I'm at. Like, I can just read the room. I can see that over the past 2,000 years, they rejected the Messiah. They crucified him. They killed him. And they turned their back on the chosen one, the perfect one, the Son of God, the Lamb of God. And they were judged for it. But we can see that as times are coming out now, there's a massive reversal that is taking place. And I see Nick Fuentes. He's the guy that feels so vindicated and justified because he says, we went to Iran. And all he's saying is, I told you so. I told you so. We can't let go that he said just in the last couple of days, he wanted this to play out. He said, if we don't strike Iran, I'm going to be severely disappointed. In those type of words. He said that phraseology. He said that. So we can't let him off the hook. I think everybody realizes that we needed to see something. There's a time for war and there's a time for peace. There's a time for everything under the sun. I'm going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to talk about, speaking of Nick Fuentes, and speaking of freedom of speech, speaking of, I am talking about primarily Alex Jones and people that are on the internet, anybody that is an American citizen that has had your voice polled, that does not have access to any type of platform that is out there. To me, it is absolutely disgusting. It's disgusting because I have just, it's been ruminating on this and just thinking about this. Whether I agree with everything that Nick says, obviously I don't. I just said something I disagree with him about. There's a lot of things I disagree with him about. But he's an American citizen and he deserves the right to be able to speak freely on any platform that is out there, that is an American platform. And he is not allowed on YouTube. Alex Jones is not allowed on YouTube. And I know I've always been I think that if I'm on Twitter, if I'm on a YouTube, I respect them. This is what they've built. It's their thing. I'm in their house, play by their rules. But as we go, for them to be able to stop someone's voice, to not let people have access to hearing them. I mean, whether you want to just put them to the side and say you're not going to boost them or show them to everyone, or they won't have as great of reach, but to say that they don't have access and can't speak on any of these platforms, to me is disgusting. The platforms that Nick is not allowed on right now, he's not allowed on YouTube. He's permanently banned since 2020. Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, and a number of other ones, just regular podcasts that are out there. He can't be on Apple, can't be on anything like that. Same thing with Alex Jones. Alex Jones is banned from YouTube. Google permanently terminated his channel. Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, all these just places that can put our voice out there. I know everybody's doesn't say what you like. Not everybody's going to say everything that you agree with. But it's having I just think that if freedom of speech and not having your voice closed is something that we should not just get used to and not just say that, this is their thing. It's their private property that they can stop someone from being able to speak. I know Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes, they are people, they have such ability that they have been able to cross thresholds in other platforms and been able to speak and still reach the audiences that they want. But for them to not be able to on every platform is not okay. It's not okay. YouTube should immediately allow them back on their platform, and anybody. You can, I would say, issue strikes you if you don't want that, if you don't like that. But I mean, the idea of censorship, it should be something that is forgotten and it is in the past. Because conservatives, if we don't stand up for people's voice, you think that the ones that are leftists, when they get back in power, that they're going to be okay and allow people to speak freely? No, they will even go harder to remove people's voices from the internet. And as we are getting more into a digital age, this is becoming more and more important. I have had my own channel pulled down before on Facebook. It was sickening. It hurt. It's like you have no control. You can't say anything. It is an awful feeling. And I just think of like somebody like, these are big names that are out there that people still know, but there's still a lot of other people that are out there that have had their voices stopped. And I think that we should stand up for everyone. Massive movement needs to happen to push these guys back into a place where they can speak on every platform. This is not something that I'm just taking lightly. I wholeheartedly believe this. And I was just caught off guard myself because I was just thinking, wow, I just expect them not to be on these social media sites. I just expect to not see Alex Jones or Nick Fuentes on these places. And I know these are the guys that I know, but I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there that are going through the same thing. Sorry, my throat is just, I'm not about to cry. I'm just my throat. I just think we need to, for everyone that's out there that has their voice pulled away, we should stick up for them. Because when they come for you, who's going to stick up for you? And I think this should be an American right. Anyone that is an American citizen should not be in the thought of a corporation to pull down their voice. I know it's their thing that they've built, but it should be in law that you have to allow every American citizen to be able to speak and use your platform and talk from it and reach people and do all that. It should be something that is in law, regulated, that is put out there. And if we don't stand up now, it's only going to get more hyper intensive, and these things are going to be even more critical in the future. And I think that we cannot just accept the norm, the status quo now. We need to stand up for people like them, for Nick Fuentes, for Alex Jones, even if you very much disagree with him. I'm like having a crazy meltdown right now. Sorry. Sometimes I don't know how, like, some of these guys, they talk forever and they don't even take a drink of water. It must be a skill that they develop or something like that. Our anima, I guess I have had the weather, the change in the weather has definitely had its effect on me. I have not been able to breathe in certain instances. My nose, I can just now start breathing on my nose lately. I don't know. It's the pollen in the air. I don't know what it is, but sometimes it hits you I'm not tearing up. It's not that. But that's what I feel about that, and I'm sure I'm going to talk more about that going forward. Wow. While I'm even talking about these crazy things, I might bring this up. There was a time I actually I felt like I tweeted something and I said something about the Mossad, or I tweeted something about Epstein or something like that, and I'm just throwing this out there. I felt like something came out of my phone and like a mist went into the air or something, and it immediately made me sick. And it's like, do any people have those capabilities? I don't know. I wasn't saying anything bad. Like, I was just saying like something about Epstein has to be alive or something like that. Okay. Well, let's see how much further we can go. Like I don't know what it is. Like sometimes I get that. I just when I'm just going, it's like I'm not trying not to. I'm actually talking normal now. I'm cool. I'm cool, man. All right, we're gonna skip it back over, and I'm gonna see if we can wrap this up and talk. I want to bring up Candace Owens. I know I've been talking about her a lot. She's a lightning rod right now. She is, and I never knew that about her. But her discussing these things, I'm definitely not for what she's doing. But she is certainly somebody. She reminds me of a Howard Stern. That movie Private Parts. It's like people that dislike him the most are the ones that are watching him the most because you just what is he going to say next? That's almost how I feel about Candace Owens at this point. Like what she has said is so crazy. What's she going to say next? So this is we're going to look at two different clips of some things that I think she seems kind of like straightforward in a lot of things she's going through and just trying to dissect Erica's past. Oh my gosh. But then it seemed like there was a point where her guard got let down and just something just came out. And I think that that happens to everyone. You talk long enough, something eventually seeps through, and it happens to me as well. You see behind the curtain of what's in my mind, and you see what I really think. She's trying to almost be professional through most of it, but then towards the tail end, right before she goes into a break, let's just take a look at this. This first of her talking about Charlie Kirk and bringing up Lori, which is Erica's mom. She's getting into that.
Charlie the ghost, who they can manipulate to do whatever they want, he always told students not to go to college and to instead get married young, and therefore the next logical step would be for Turning Point to go into homeownership to help them become homeowners. Trust the science. If you think that's weird, it's because you're demonic. Erica's grieving widow. Lori, in case you missed it, is the one person that Erica now posts for sympathy. She's curating Lori, right? To let you know that Lori is sick.
It feels like she really, whenever I look at her, whenever she sees Erica, to me, it seems like she just despises Erica and everything about her so much at this point. It feels like that. I don't know if she's just putting on a show and that's all what it is, but her mom, Erica's mom, is sick right now. And she's saying that her bringing up her mom, she's like maybe trying to garner sympathy or something.
That to me felt like a person I should probably be looking into, right? How dare you have any questions about anything right now? Do you know where Erica's going? She just lost her husband and her mom's sick. I think these people are sick in the head.
It turns so fast. This is where we're seeing a little bit behind the veil.
There's something very wrong with Lori. There is something very wrong with Erica. And there is something very wrong with this picture of Lori, Tyler, and Erica Kirk being together. There just is. It's my opinion. It's my show.
She's very strong about this and repeating this over. It's my show. It's my show. It's my show. I don't know if there is it's a defense mechanism, but she's certainly starting to feel the attacks of people that are calling her out.
They really think we are this stupid. Anyway, we'll be right back out.
Okay. That was right before a quick break that she had. And this next one is coming out of a break that she just unleashed. And the things she said, and she brings up, she doesn't say it outright, but Matt Walsh did a whole video of dissecting and discrediting or debunking Candace and all the claims that she has made. And you can see her making fun of Matt towards the end of this, what we're going to watch right here. But she just came out just saying some almost very obnoxious things out of the break immediately, jumped the gun. And whenever I watched this, I almost had to stop it a couple of different times because in the background, my wife had been listening to it. And every time she was like, oh my gosh, because she's not listening to Candace, but she heard what she was saying and she was like, oh my gosh. And I had to stop it every time. I was like, I want to kind of hear what she's saying. but she just kept interrupting, just saying, like, because she couldn't believe like what what Candace was saying in this video right here.
I just have to say, people have lost their minds. I just truly have to say, I am sickened by how dishonest people are right now. Everyone out here making it, and there's nothing to see here. She's just a grieving widow. Everybody's fine at Turning Point. These people love Charlie. These people didn't even write their own speeches for his memorial.
Not saying nothing to see here. I don't think a lot of people are saying nothing to see here. There's definitely everything to see here, and we can break down TPUSA, Erica Kirk. We can look into her, I guess, if you want to, but we shouldn't be just making blasting claims about her that have nothing, really there, that are solely smearing her name and hurting her, that for no other reason than to be almost like just a mean girl against her.
Take it to the bank. They didn't even write their own speeches for the memorial. They had people writing their speeches. That's how little these people cared about Charlie Kirk. Charlie was a means to them. Go ahead, call me a monster. Make a video. You're out here telling you it's okay. I'm gonna debunk what Candace is saying. Okay, Erica lied. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, that's how some people grieve. They grieve by lying. They grieve by lying.
I've worked with people, and like I remember a girl I worked with. I don't even remember too. It's so long ago, but it did seem like she just had a chip on her shoulder again, and just everyone's out to get her, and so she just reads everything more into things that are really there. And I don't know if this is all women that do this or just certain ones or what. So there's signals that Candace is picking up, because she'll play a video about Erica Kirk or something happening, and she'll be like, "Did you catch that?" And there's really nothing there. It just seems normal, but Candace just makes it something, creates something, interprets a motive that is underneath the surface that I don't think is actually there, but in Candace's mind, it's there, and so she turns it into something.
You guys need to settle down. Why do you care so much if she's lying? Why do you care so much that she suddenly apparently had a clear enough mind to decide that she wanted to take the board to a vote to make her the CEO while her children are not at home? Why do you care so much? It's weird. You guys are the weird ones.
Okay, I'm okay with being a weird one. I think that we, if there is anything there, I mean, if TPUSA, they're not, no organization is perfect and good and great. They're not. They all have blemishes. I'm so sorry. I've been coughing all day. Like, I don't know what it is. All this stuff is, I'm very verklempt, I guess. I don't know, whatever that word that Mike Myers would say in SNL. I'm very verklempt, if that's it. But it seems like over and over, Candace is just making things up, creating things that aren't really there, and just riding with it. And all it is it's like nothing to see here. We're not saying nothing to see here. You can look at her, but it's like just to say that she was a part of a plot to kill Charlie. And now she's not even saying that. She's almost charged her with it, but now is just creating all this other stuff that doesn't even, there's no clear accusation. It's just almost just a roll of her eyes, just trying to make up something as we go along, and like everything, you're seeing things that aren't there. You're seeing little goblins and little gnomes that aren't actually there. You're making them up. They're just out in the garden, and you're just out of the figment of your imagination creating them. You're making these things that aren't actually there. And we understand that people nobody always tells the truth 100% of the time. I guess, I mean, we want to strive to be honest people, but not maybe read into if somebody is saying something, maybe like take them at their word instead of just they're automatically being dishonest. I guess there's no realm of charitableness that Candace is giving to this. And I don't think it has anything to do with, I think she really is, why I do think there is something, a demonic spirit that is pushing her. moving her to continue to go after this woman. There's something doing that. There has to be. It wouldn't make sense because we're not against humans. We're not against people. But we know that there are things behind us. There are entities that are out there that are always trying to push us in one of two directions, and trying to go after and to succumb to our fallen nature desires, our sinful desires, of just jealousy or wanting to hurt someone because they got something that we don't, or something that we want to, that we have a greed in our heart. And I think that is what is pushing Candace. It has to be, because there has to be a regular person in there, a good person in there that loves Christ, because she says Christ is king, Christ is king. But it's like, you're saying all these things, but then you're still going after Erica. You're like, just out of nowhere, but you're not really producing anything that's really noteworthy whatsoever. And it seems like every episode is that she's just charging her with everything, but then not producing any evidence, of actual evidence to support any really weak claim that you're even making. So what is the claim? That she was a part of a conspiracy to kill her husband. Where is the evidence? What is the actual evidence? And just pulling up all these things, all it is just trying to smear her name. It's all it is. Over and over, every episode, that's all it is, repeatedly. On repeat. But I am serious about pray for Candace, that she comes out of this spell that has her in its grips. Something has her in its grips, and she's not resisting it. She's not pushing back against it. She is moving forward full force, and she's not backing off at all. I thought she would, but she hasn't. All right, we'll leave it at that. We'll see how things develop more in the Iran war as we step further and further in it. It's going to be a day-by-day situation. I know there's going to be a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking that people are going to have. And Donald Trump, he made the decision. He moved forward with this. I think he probably made the decision months ago. But he pulled the trigger last night in unleashing our American soldiers to attack Iran. And if you're American, let's stand with our president. Let's stand with our nation. Let's come together. Let's try to get to the bottom of things, but let's not just have a viciously skeptical mindset that everything that President Trump is doing is wrong because it's somehow collaborating with Israel. Israel's not the boogeyman, and Israel is actually God's chosen nation. So that's food for thought. I know some people don't want to hear that, but it's still the truth nonetheless. All right, we'll leave it at that. Follow me on X and Instagram at Brandon Fogel, and have a great rest of your weekend.
I could see the cracks form in the paint, growing like a fire.